People, deluded, I'm back again. I just hang around like a dirty smell, I guess, people. Smash the like button. As one of my mods has said, smash the likes as usual. Does anyone have goosebumps yet? Not quite, but it's nice to be linked with Rodrygo. It's nice to be linked with Eze. Kepa's been announced. Gyökeres and Sesko stuff is still in the background and the back burners and things of that ilk. So I have to see how things progress, essentially, man. It'd be interesting, but pardon me, we need to get the job over the line. Hyper, big up yourself. As the man has said, smash the like button on your way in. You're getting Madueke, not to Rodrygo. Give it up. I don't think we're getting Rodrygo anyways. I can't say we're not going to get Madueke, but if the club get Madueke, they better make sure that there's some level of a parade in Islington. 50 million, though, flipping. Now, at this point, Chelsea are not bumping us. We're bumping ourselves because you would have given them what? 50 million, what, just over 100 million for Kai Havertz and obviously Madueke, throwing the 5 for Kepa, and it is what it is. DG never get sold. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. You know what, folks? Why waste any time? Let's crack on with everything. Feel free to ask any questions, to rebuttal anything I've said, to offer your thoughts. If there is any emerging news and all that stuff that comes out while I'm online, please feel no sort of way about getting them in. And as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. First things first, I hope you've all had a great start to the week, start to the year, and start to the month. Happy July, man. Hopefully, you know, you have a great July, and every month until the end of the year and beyond that, for you and your loved ones, gets better and better. May God bless you, lot, whatever you want in your personal and private lives. And more importantly than that, I hope he gives us health, because it doesn't matter what you do. You ain't got health, it's a myth. How are you feeling about the Kepa signing? How long we got, man? Let me take a sip of my water. When discussing Kepa, I wish it was something stronger. You know what? On one hand, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, it is what it is. It's 5 million. You got a backup keeper. It's one less thing to be waffling about. I hear the logic with it's better that than the Garcia thing, because Garcia might be a better keeper, potential, all that kind of jazz. But at some point between him and David Raya, it's got to be made abundantly clear who's the number one and who's the number two. And maybe something's got to be sold. Someone's got to be sold. And it stinks of, you know, ironically, we're on the topic of a Chelsea keeper, right? So when they had Czech and Courtois, when we had Leno and Ramsdale and Raya, that would have been a thing. I guess for, you know, whatever I've got to say, and I'm going to say it because you asked me a question, whatever I've got to say about Kepa, he has shown that he can maneuver in these situations. Like, pardon me, you know, he wrestled his spot at Bournemouth and he did well there, showing an improvement, and he had a couple of keepers there. Obviously, at Real Madrid, he was fighting with a couple of keepers, and he done the same at Chelsea. I would say, Kepa, if you've got any, if you think you, well, we got to get to a final, but if you've got any, if you think you can do any of them antics you did against Sarri at Wembley, Mikel Arteta and them lot need to beat you up. So yeah, he's experienced, he knows the job. It's one less thing to worry about. I don't think he's a terrible keeper. Probably not breaking the wage bill. Push Kepa, push Raya all the way. I guess he's more likely to keep Raya on his toes than a Neto, with the greatest of respect. Might even be worth just getting Neto to be third choice, really, and let Tommy Setford go out on loan. That being said, I know he did all right at Bournemouth, and I don't want to. I'll give everyone a chance, and he plays for Arsenal, but I'm not convinced by him. Even as a number two in everything apart from if you're called upon, I'm not convinced. I'm convinced. But if we have to utilize you, I'm scared. I don't really rate you. I think you're known to drop clangers. I think you're a keeper that, and again, football is more complicated than this. But I think if, God forbid, if I got injured and Kepa has to play, teams that we play will have their systems and what they want to do on the pitch and all of that kind of stuff. But I just feel they'll say, have some shots at Kepa. Do you think he's a good shot stopper? Like how he's quick off his line. I mean, he's not the best ball-playing keeper in the world, but he understands that. But I think there's a lot of fragilities. But I'll give him a chance, and it is what it is, man. So, yeah, Kepa signed for Arsenal, people. Has he spoken? And to be fair, he has been part of winning sides that won the Club World Cup, Super Cup, Europa League, Champions League. He went Real Madrid and won the champs in the Super Cup there and had to compete for his spot. The man himself has said, I'm really, really happy to be here, really excited and looking forward to what's coming. The ambition that is shown in this club, when I talk with Mikel Arteta and Inaki Kanya, who is the goalkeeping coach, how much they show me their desire to win. I think we are so close to winning, and hopefully all together we can achieve it. The one thing I give you, Kepa, I like the fact that you said we already, so you understand. Andrea Berta said, and to be fair, has anyone heard this guy speak? We are really excited to have Kepa join our Arsenal family. He's a player with great experience, someone who has already won major trophies, and we cannot wait for him to join the group and help the club win. Kepa knows it's an exciting time to be at Arsenal. We know he's a player who will bring with him a winning mentality. We welcome him and his family to the club and look forward to him meeting the players and staff, with everyone excited to see him. Would have preferred to see Zubamendi announce, people. Manduki does concern me. But again, you can see the tabs. We've got a lot of things to discuss in it. Kepa works really hard and will elevate our levels. I mean, by default, he's better than Neto. So by default, he has done that. We're really happy. We're really happy to have Kepa joining us. He's a player we know, having come up against him many times in recent seasons. Really, he brings a wealth of experience, which his teammates will benefit from. He has a real hunger to win. Kepa works hard and will elevate our levels. I know he will fit in perfectly already, knowing some of his teammates, and we are really excited about his future with us. Unfortunately, he's wearing my favorite shirt, and I hate the fact that keepers get the number 13, man. Smash the like button. Gyökeres and Eze is our final jigsaw. I mean, we got to get them through the door. Big up DG, yo chat, big up the mods. Come on, we should go for Xavi Simmons. Wouldn't mind that. Would love to have Rodrygo, but he's way too unrealistic. But for my thing is this: get this squad fillers. So Nordgaard's through the door, we're led to believe, right? Kepa's through the door. I wouldn't say he's a squad filler, more an area to address, and I think he's a level raiser. But Zubamendi through the door. Mascara looks like he's advancing in that direction. You know, between Sesko and Gyökeres, bring one of them in. If there is a chance to get Eze and we're not messing about, do all of that. Get the outgoings gone. The players that are more realistically going to leave, the Reece Nelsons, the Zinchenkos, all of those kind of players in that regards. If you do the bulk of the business, let's just assume we've done everything we needed in terms of the core business before the start of the season, then cool. Use the next month to go for Rodrygo, because that is a developing situation. But what I don't want to do is say no to Eze or no to this other left winger because we're chasing Rodrygo and things go left. We're left short-handed. So yeah, just get everything done. If that can be a surprise, why not? And we're going to get onto Eze, but I think it's very interesting. Ornstein once said we want 3 attackers. Apparently, Eze is wanted for his versatility and what he can bring to the squad. And on top of that, we want a left winger and a striker. That entices me. If we could get 3 attackers that help us in their own way, and Eze, who can play on the left, play in the 10, plays a false 9, plays at 8, you can see how that ties into our squad. Between Sesko and Gyökeres, we need a forward. Obviously, we're tailoring it around Rodrygo. Cool. But if you could, let's just say random Joe Blogs, that's a good prospect or a good level of a left winger. You throw in the Sakas, the Wanyeris, Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Trossard, Merino up front, Kai Havertz up front. They could help us throughout a squad. I'm kind of cool there. And that would help me. That would tell me it's good. And to be fair, this might be the only season where, whether we rate the players or not, you've addressed every area, quote unquote. Like, you need to buy a keeper, you need to buy a defender, you need a centre mid, you need a left winger, you need a striker. Normally, we do like 3 of the 5 or 1 of the 5, etc., etc. So that just tells me put your best foot forward. Kepa's apparently given an interview, and again, I'd rather read Zubamendi and Eze and Rodrygo what they got to say about joining Arsenal, but that has not been afforded to us. We're here to win. I like that. I think we have a great team. And to be fair, Kepa does bring experience like Nordgaard. I think we have great staff around here, the best facilities. So we have to prepare ourselves for this season and to have success. When I talk with Michael Arteta and Kanya, they show me their desire to win. They show me ambition, how much they want to improve, how much they want to grow. And I'm really here to help, to push, and to win more. I spoke with Kai. He was with Martin. So we were talking. We had a good chat together. They already started explaining a little bit about how everything works and how good the atmosphere is right now in the change room. So I can't wait to join. He then went on to say, I guess with David Rao, he's a great goalkeeper and we have a very good relationship. Obviously, they're club teammates now and international teammates. And I'm sure if you're Kepa, obviously, you want to push him all the way, but you want to take Raya's spot. I'm sure you want to go off to the Spain squad. So Raya's going to have to look over his shoulder. And to be fair, there's a couple of Spanish keepers. It seems like Unai Simon I don't think he's the best Spanish keeper, but he seems to be the one that starts. David Raya, we hope he's on the plane. Garcia of formerly of Espanyol, better yet now of Barcelona. And you've got Kepa, and there's probably some other guys I'm missing out. And I'm sure, well, keeper, he's still, I wouldn't say he's young for a goalie, but he's 30. There might be another international tournament, but there is that added carrot. You never know, people. We'll compete, we'll train together, we'll share a lot of time together, we'll have competition, as with all positions in the team, but with the only goal that is to win and be the best once. Fair play. He said, Santi Cazorla, I can remember when he was here, I came with Athletic Club to play an academy game. We're in the stadium and I can remember his T-shirt in the club shop. So it's one of the memories that I have from a long time ago. I've come here as an opponent, but the atmosphere in the stadium is beautiful. Obviously, it's a big stadium, a top stadium with big fans. From outside, you can see how much they love the club, how much they support the club. And this for a player is amazing to have this support behind you. You'll have my support. I'll give everybody that. Arsenal have now signed a player from Chelsea in 6 of the last 7 seasons, mate. David Luiz, Willian, 2021-22, we didn't. Then Jorginho, then Kai Havertz, then Raheem Sterling on loan, and then Kepa. Of all of them names, I think I think Jorginho's been the best value for money. I think David Luiz had issues, but he was a lot better of a player than people gave him credit for. And, you know, you speak to Saka and Martinelli, was good for the young players. Kai Havertz is a mixed one because I think he's done better than a lot of people expected, but I wouldn't say he's been worth 65 million and that. And it's a peculiar situation. Raheem Sterling, you know, the one out of all of them, the one that you really wanted it to work, it didn't happen. And, you know, we hope Kepa's the next Neuer, innit? Well, it is what it is. David Ornstein, I have covered a video on this before, but Arsenal would look to do a deal for Eze at a lower price than his release clause. It's unclear whether a sale would need to happen first to facilitate a move, adding fuel to the fire. If you're a journalist now, you're making bare rumors up about Martinelli and also Trossard to facilitate a move. But this would be separate to their pursuit of a striker and a left winger. So we need to, you know, Eze, Premier League proven, 27, former Haylender, versatile, you know, addresses an area on that left-hand side we need, can help us unpick low blocks, can play 10, play left wing, play up front, plays 8. Is he a priority? Because you could say, without getting into names, Rodrygo, Sesko, Gyökeres, a priority is a striker, right? Equal priority is a left winger. So he's seen, well, he can play in both those roles amongst others, but is he a primary objective of those roles? So is he seen as a priority? That tells me not. It encourages me that the Eze thing is almost irrelevant from what we kind of need to do, people. I would love him at the club. Again, if you're Crystal Palace, you're going to say either pay his release clause or pay just over his release clause or pay what his release clause is, but in terms that make sense, not this, we're giving you 2 million in 10 years type of thing. If Arsenal go and do that, again, it seems like Arsenal the only ones interested in Eze at this moment in time, and Spurs previously. If Eze is genuinely available, you'd imagine a bunch of teams going for him. Crystal Palace probably want to keep him. Simultaneously, they're probably admitting to themselves, they probably knew, regardless of how the season panned out, this is what's going to happen. And it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be silly for him to stay. You're going to be playing in Europe. You just won an FA Cup. It is a World Cup year where form and leaving clubs, it can fluctuate, people. So you got to put down the bread. And we're playing this budget thing quite weirdly. If we've been cut pricing, you know, we've committed 50 odd million for Zubimendi. Is it fair to say 50 all the way to maybe 80, 90, 100 if Rodrygo would left wing? Striker is setting you back 60 to 80 loose million. I don't know if I mentioned Zubimendi before. Obviously, it's not the biggest of fees, but you throw in the 5 million of Kepa, the 9.5 for Norgard, the 17 to 20 million that's being projected for Mosquera. You could offset that with some sales, more so the ones that need to go, and then there might be an unpopular or random sale. You know, I have 3 players come to mind. An offer might come for Martinelli that you can't reject. If you get in a left winger and Eze, maybe they change their tune on Leandro Trossard and he moves. I'd say Kivior as well, because it seems like Kivior has admirers. I wouldn't sell him, but I can't imagine a reality where Kivior says, you know what, Gaffer, I understand, you know, Michael Eze is ahead of me. I want to go somewhere. I want to play football. This team's interested. That team's interested. But then I always say, Kivior's linked with a lot of these Italian clubs. I think the Italian clubs will come to Berta, and Berta's not an idiot, and sit there and say, we ain't got money. Can we have a loan with an option? It'd be interesting. And we all know the obvious players that need to go. Free Noni, Madueke, Arteta and free. And forget that, man. Forget all of that. Forget that. Come on, people, only 4 likes so far. You lot hate me, man. I soon stop streaming, man. You lot absolutely hate me, man. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Can't wait to see Eze in action next month. Steady, tranquilo. I need to see medicals and things of that ilk. Ben Jacobs has said Arsenal value Eze below his 68 million release clause. There's been no bid to date, but Arsenal's interest is serious and advancing. Eze is understood to be keen on the move to Arsenal. So we've heard over the weekend, we've held talks broadly about personal terms, right? Clearly, Arsenal like him. Clearly, Arsenal like him regardless of the core business we've got to do. Striker, left winger, goalie, centre mid, etc. But we reckon he's worth less than his release clause. So that tells you we like him, but there's negotiations. We have no plans to either pay his release clause outright, or we might tailor a deal that hits that release clause or just over, but it's got to make sense. How much do you want, Eze? I'm not sure. And how much is Eze prepared to advance the move? And when is this going to advance? Obviously, Arsenal are spinning multiple plates. You know, like other clubs, you know, we're announcing deals. We're probably getting people done. We're doing new contracts. We're doing things, but how much of a priority is this? I don't know. And I'd love to see it happen before pre-season. I did cover this before, but the Athletic said one case to keep an eye on is Arsenal and Eze, the 27-year-old. And I just want to throw this out there. I could be wrong, but I think if you get Eze, you don't get Gyökeres. I don't think they're going to bring in two 27-year-olds. Would I? Yes, because 27, it's not 97. You still got many years, but you know our club is a resale value and stars of tomorrow and longevity and all of that stuff. I could be wrong. I'd be happy, but you get the point. He is among a number of options being considered as Mikel Arteta's men seek a versatile attacker. And he also could play off that right-hand side. Contact, and he's a mean free kick taker. Contact has yet to be made with Crystal Palace. So again, for all the hype, we haven't began any official dialogue with Crystal Palace. But serious consideration is being given to the idea at the Emirates Stadium. No other clubs have the same level of interest at present. Now, that can advance. We previously heard City were keen on him. Eze is not a player Tottenham have targeted to date. The England forward has a release clause in his contract worth in excess of 60 million. But should they proceed, Arsenal would try to do a deal below that price. It is unclear whether a sale might be needed to facilitate such a move, but the situation is separate to their pursuit of a striker and left winger. Obviously, sales could impact stuff, but this tells me that we, maybe not necessarily Eze, but we wanted a striker, we wanted a left winger, we wanted a quote-unquote versatile ringer kind of player. Centre mid with Zubimendi naturally, defensive additions. Defensive additions, midfield additions, potentially two, as we're seeing with Nodgaard now if Partey leaves. So you could say that maybe it is. So we could have done all of that, and it's irrelevant. We could have factored all of this in, and it's irrelevant from selling Martinelli and Trossard and Kivior and this one and that one. But then there is an element of needing to sell. It's quite a peculiar situation for us. Arsenal's interest in left-sided attackers Rodrygo, Anthony Gordon, and Williams is well established. These deals, sorry, people, let me turn off this fan. I don't want to mess up you lot's thing. These deals would come at a considerable cost. Of course, Rodrygo's going to cost bare money, and he's going to need big boy wages. Newcastle are going to make it difficult for us. And again, I'm skipping ahead, but apparently Jason Ito could become their sporting director. I think Arsenal and Newcastle's kind of beef that you see on the field and fizzling out is because of the board people. Let's be honest, Arsenal are one of the clubs that are against the Saudi owners and whatnot, and that kind of stuff there. Anthony Gordon and Nico Williams is well established. These deals would come at a considerable cost and would require the departure of one of the club's existing wide options to balance the books. If it came to it, I'd rather sell Trossard than Martinelli, but I'm kind of easy in either or. Arsenal are also exploring the addition of a more versatile attacking player such as Noni Madueke, Eze, or Morgan Rogers. Arsenal are being kept informed on a number of players to afford them flexibility in their planning, which we're going to need. Real Madrid have been clear with any player who wants to leave, bring an offer to the table. If it suits the club's demands, they can leave. Rodrygo brings something to Real Madrid. Sources close to Rodrygo are upset with his lack of involvement at the Club World Cup. I mean, sources close to him, that might be his friends, his family, whatever. They're going to want their boy to play. The arrival of France, isn't it meant to be Franco Mustantanto, could lead to Rodrygo's role being reduced in the coming months. It's worth keeping close eye on his situation. I think every Arsenal fan will. Sam Dean of The Telegraph said, Arsenal have been exploring the conditions of various deals for attackers across Europe. Arsenal are known to have a strong interest in Rodrygo and could also make a move for Anthony Gordon. I'm not saying we're more likely to get Rodrygo than Anthony Gordon, but I picture a reality where we will bid for Rodrygo more so than Anthony Gordon, if I'm honest. Both are going to come with serious peace. So, yeah, our interest stems from his ability to play as both an attacking midfielder and out wide, but he is not in place of other left wing targets. So, again, how much of a priority is he? Sky Germany have been speaking about Noni Madueke. Arsenal have already submitted an offer allegedly for Madueke. He could leave Chelsea in the summer. Talks have started. Madueke is one of several top profiles Arsenal are assessing for this position. Arsenal are still considering a transfer for Rodrygo should he leave Real Madrid. And you're seeing as high as 50 million for Mr. Madueke. And I don't believe it with I do believe there's an element of interest with Madueke. We've been bargain hunting at Chelsea, and he is English. There is the element of future-ness in him, like he could play for years. I could see why. I'm sure he'd be attracted to Arsenal. It's a big club. You're staying in London, English boys there and whatnot. But then when I break it down for me, obviously, I think Nwaneri's future is either as an 8 or a 10. Arteta said he could play up front. In the short term, at the very least, one angle for him is to deputise or come get off the sub bench or play in place of Bukayo Saka. I reckon Noni Madueke believes, and I've never had this conversation with him, his best position is off that right-hand side. Saka's playing there all day, and I wouldn't want, who am I? I'm just a fan. I wouldn't want Nwaneri's minutes. Sorry, people, where's my flannel, man? Oh, is it there? Sorry, folks, man. Oh, there it is. Boiling, man. See what I'm smash the like button. See what I'm doing for you. But yeah, I wouldn't want Nwaneri's minutes cut. I think his best position for him would be off the right. So that makes that a myth. Play off the left. How long is that going to bang? Your wages, I don't think he'd be on handsome wages, but naturally, if you're Madueke, you're an England international, you're playing for Chelsea, you're moving to Arsenal, nobody takes a wage cut, you're going to push for 100 odd grand a week conservatively, maybe a bit more than that, and probably get a 4 or 5 year deal. I do like his attitude because I've seen plenty of footballers that are amazing. Like they can do, you couldn't get the ball off them in a phone box, but they don't believe in themselves. I'm not saying he ain't got ability, he clearly does because he played for big clubs, he's doing big things. But I think he believes he's better than he is, if I'm completely honest with you. And I kind of like that. That being said, if we were to get Madueke, like if you didn't get Eze, Rodrygo, forget them two or any other names that we've been linked with, it would just tell me that I hear you got to be able to pivot and whatnot, but it's told me not everything's gone to plan, if I'm honest with you. So there you have that. Boy, why have I got that same tweet twice? What's this when it cares to load? Big up hand of Arsenal, man. Arsenal on Madueke. The club have been speaking to his reps the past few weeks. The club hold genuine interest in Noni, but talks are not advanced on personal terms. No proposal made to the player either as of today. Now, things can advance very quickly, but talking happens all the time, so that don't really mean much. Chelsea club officials have denied any bid being made. It doesn't make sense for Chelsea to confirm or deny anything. Player side, the player has expressed interest in our project, but has reservations about competing with Saka. Well, naturally. Furthermore, the player is not keen on playing left wing either. In truth, the interest is genuine, but as of today, it is as you were. And there's some other clubs that were linked with Madueke, where if he wants to be held in higher regards, probably better off going there. I want to ask you, lot, if you had to sell Martinelli and Trossard to finance a move for Rodrygo, like, let's just imagine a world. Rodrygo's on joining us, Real Madrid are on selling, Berta's dotted I's and crossed T's. It can happen. But we need to sell Trossard and Martinelli to get that gone. Would you do it? Arsenal are not looking to sell Martinelli, according to CBS club sources. Every player in the squad has their price, but there's no internal pressure to sell Martinelli to fund business. So again, that kind of directly contradicts, I would say, what we saw already with we might need to sell to finance the Ezes and all of these things. Things are ever changing and we've got to have an ability to pivot, but it directly contradicts based on what we saw. So again, let me know your thoughts. What one are you choosing to believe? Because we can spend upwards of 200 million with no PSR issues. We've been told that for the last year, actually. Bayern Munich are admirers of Martinelli, while Al Nassr have held internal discussions. But we hear with Al Nassr, he's the backup to Luis Diaz and a couple of others. But they've not put together a proposal for Arsenal's consideration and are currently not preparing a bid. So the headline that these clubs are into him, and when you read the article, nothing is happening at this moment in time. Crucially, sources close to Martinelli indicate he would not be prepared to consider a move to the Saudi Pro League at this stage of his career, people. Now it's July. Martin Zubimendi will become an Arsenal player. Charles Watson said he'll be in training tomorrow, which surely Arsenal announced that. I need to get this tactical video out for you. Like, allow me. I'm juggling plot pots. I'm trying to do the Norgard one, Zubimendi, Eze now. Allow me, mascara, all of these things will be out for you lot. So please turn on your notifications, man. It's not just transfer videos. We're going to try and do everything. Follow on all the socials, especially TikTok. Come, man, you lot, type in Deluded Gooner on TikTok. Don't violate. Support the movement, man. Support the movement. Yeah, respecting Sociedad's wish to include the deal in their 2025-26 accounts. The formalities of Kepa Arrizabalaga move has largely been concluded, and an announcement is also pending. Now, obviously, since that initial Athletic article came out, which I did a video on this morning, it's been officially confirmed, as we just read with Kepa. Christian Norgard is expected to undergo a medical at Arsenal this week and finalise his move. The sporting director of Brentford said that is moving in the right direction. Partey's cut. Valencia have held several meetings with Christian Mosquera's camp in which they have pitched their plan for his development and the club's future. Arsenal, however, are determined to prize Mosquera away and are expected to return with a second bid. When I look at Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba in particular, and Lewis Skelly's development, if we can develop one thing under Arteta, it's been defenders, isn't it? Ben White as well, you can throw him into that mix. And I'm keen to see what it holds for Calafiori. He can play left-sided centre-back, right-sided centre-back, right back. I think we've got false depth because on paper right now, obviously, unfortunately, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, they were probably older a hamstring injury. Benjamin White was probably older lengthy layoff for the last few years, or basically since he's got here, he's been ever present. The amount of minutes, big up Timber, because this ain't been you fully fit and you set the bar very high. But the amount of minutes he's had to play post ACL, unfortunate. Tomiyasu, 6 minutes of Premier League football. Calafiori's been out for 100 days. When we have got depth, but we ain't really got depth. So I'm on bringing this guy in, and it is cheaper than a house. And even though I would have been on that, Gurhi, I would have been on that. Victor Rice, who's barely getting a look in at City, I would have been on that. So yeah, bring the guy to the carpet, man. And I think naturally he's gonna want to compete. You never know what could happen for you. You're Spain under 21s international. You never know with a good run of form what could happen for you. You know, you really don't know. So yeah, man, and Arteta's gonna have to be cute and clever. We have heard Gyökeres has no intention to come back and play for Sporting following the president's quotes. Apparently his camp and Gyökeres already informed the club about it. Swedish striker insists on pact made last year over some exit. He's now feeling tired and betrayed, people. His 60 million euros clause is now active as of Tuesday. If Arsenal or any other club make a bid of this value and Sporting refuse, they will have to compensate the agent with 10% of the value. Is that in the contract though? Because if that's just a gentleman's agreement, because 1 minute man are vexed over this gentleman's agreement, they're not following through on it. So far, to me as a fan, we know for a fact he's got 100 million euros clause. So is there a contract where you've got 100 million euros clause and this whole, if someone bids 60 million, we have to owe you some bread? If it's not in the contract about if someone bids and you don't accept, then the agent gets 10% of the commission, then it's a madness. I think the agent and Sporting are not seeing eye to eye, and it is affecting indirectly Gyökeres, really. And I guess Arsenal, Man United, at some point, everyone's just going to have to say, you know what, F you lot, we're doing other things. So yeah, as of Tuesday, if Arsenal or any other club make a bid of this value and Sporting refuse, they'll have to compensate the agent with 10% of the value. The Lions, obviously Sporting, have warned that if this happens, they will demand 100 million euros. So the only loser would be Gyökeres, because United, Arsenal aren't paying that. I don't have TikTok. The thoughts were there, man. Talk was a month ago that a new deal was on the table for Trossard. It's gone quiet, you know. It's gone quiet. But even that, the new deal don't really make sense, because some reports were saying we're giving him a new deal, but we're not extending the terms. We're just giving you more money. I hear it. If you feel that he's undervalued, I hear it. But from an Arsenal fan point of view, it don't really make sense. You're giving him more money and not extending the terms. It's not making sense. You need a cold drink. I do. I thought DG was joking, but Newcastle were considering Jason Ito as sporting director. Why'd I lie to you lot, man? If Martinelli took a pay cut, he could stay. Otherwise, both need to go. I don't really care how much they get paid. But naturally, him and Martin Odegaard, we're getting into the realm where we're talking about new deals for you lot. I think Odegaard will bust case because he's central to Arteta's plans. And, you know, I think only a couple of players in our squad have played more minutes than Martinelli, but it's very different. So, yeah, man, you're right on that. But who's got the bigger market? Because how much are people going to bid for Martinelli? I reckon Arsenal would. I reckon if I'm buying, I'm coming with 40 million. I'm coming with 40 million for Martinelli. That's a significant upgrade on the 6 million you spent. Yada yada yada. Now we know Martinelli's form has been on the floor and all those things, but he is a Brazilian international. Played a lot of games for Arsenal. The older he gets, the more I'm thinking that, you know, that. Remember that year he got 15 goals or double figures, whatever it was, that might have just been a purple patch. But there is that element of maybe the penny will drop. And to a degree, I do believe if Martinelli went to a team that's more direct and keen on the transition, I think he'd do a lot better. Go and watch half of his performances come when we're in those kind of crazy games, sort of thing. But yeah, there is the scope that Martinelli goes somewhere. At 24, he's got many years. Barring his hamstring injuries ever present, the penny might drop and he becomes a player. So Arsenal might want a bit more. And as somebody said earlier, the wages is on 190 grand. Bayern Munich are not paying him that. Now, if you're Martinelli, do you want to take less? I don't know. And I mean, weirder things have happened, but can we really see Martinelli going Saudi? So yeah, 60 million clause. We'll have to see, man. What do you lot make of it? It just seems like a lot of whispers from the media. Romano said the conversation for both Sesko and Viktor Gyökeres is still ongoing, with daily contacts between all parties involved. Arsenal are on it, so let's see what they will decide. For sure, a new striker will be at Arsenal in the summer, by God's grace. We have heard this week that Leipzig have lowered the asking price for Benjamin Sesko. We're led to be believed that is 60 million. I'm not sure on the exchange rate, but Court Offside are saying sources close to Arsenal's deal for Sesko have informed Court Offside that the parties involved may be nearing a compromise on a fee in the region of 75 million euros. So that kind of indirectly is in the same realm. Hugo Ekitike has been linked with us. I don't believe that, because 1 minute we're more aggressively linked with Gyökeres, as it appears Leipzig are playing hardball. Then we hear nonsense from Sporting allegedly, so we're focusing on Sesko. When this kind of came out, we kind of heard Sporting and Leipzig are acting. So now we're looking at Hugo Ekitike as an alternative. He's going to come for the same fee. He's going to be sold for the same kind of fee, in my opinion, whether you believe these guys are good or not. Big up Lewis Skelly for signing a new deal. Big up Wanyeri. Hopefully he signs a new deal and becoming, another 21s championship winner with England. Tommy Setford is wanted by Stevenage on loan, but for the time being, he's required as the third choice goalkeeper. Bro, go and get some uncle that is 35. Make him sit on the bench. I wouldn't even mind Neto returning. Go and get a Dan Bentley we tried to get last summer. Go get a Dan Bentley, a Scott Carson, a Marcus Pintelli, them kind of third choice, man. I think he's a very good keeper. I don't know if you're going to make the grade at Arsenal because Raya isn't exactly old. I like him. I really like him. And I understand he's got, from a selfish point of view, you got to be a squad player and all of that kind of stuff. But I think he is a modern keeper. But there's only so much you can learn. A lot. People might laugh. He could learn a lot training with Kepa because we could all say Kepa shit. End of the day, he's won multiple trophies. A Spanish international. He's cut out a top career, same as Raya. Minus the trophies. There's a lot this young player can learn. But yeah, you can train with them and learn, and you might even get an occasional cup game as you did last year. There's no substitute for playing. He needs to go somewhere where people are fighting to stay in the, like I assume with Stevenage in League One, you're fighting for promotion, you're fighting to stay in the league. Managers are losing jobs, grown men strikers are trying to bully this young man from set pieces. Go learn, man. Go and learn. Because I do think even if you don't make the grade in Arsenal as a first, second, or third choice, this is a man that can make profit. Arsenal not stupid. You bought him from Ajax when you knew Raya was here. You tried to get Garcia as well, which didn't happen, but you would have had two keepers blocking this man's pathway. This is the next thing we need to do. We need to get better at sales, and whether we get players that didn't always come through our academy, but we source them and they're in our academy and they progress all the way. Bob's your uncle. I'd love 11 players from Hayland or from our academy all starting. But if you get man for the cheap, sell them at a profit for a team that's not going to do the Chelsea and City thing, there's more money to play around with, really. And I'd expect some young talents from other clubs, mainly for our 21s and 18s, to arrive this summer, if I'm completely honest with you. But I don't think people want to hear that. Chelsea have not ruled out making a move for Mohamed Kudus, but the belief is that they need to do some selling first. He's being aggressively linked with Spurs, which could give fuel to the fire with us, with Eze. Anyone having Nicholas Jackson? Probably not, but I got to ask the question. Newcastle United have shown interest in signing Xavi Simons. However, he doesn't want to join them. Seems like Newcastle have been slapped in the face when they've tried to go for players. Galatasaray have held talks with Partey and Gundogan. They want to sign a dominant midfielder this summer. Don't think you're going to get the wages that, even with a reduction, or if your wages stayed the same, or a short uplift, but not the uplift you wanted, I don't think you're going to get those wages you wanted at Arsenal elsewhere. To be fair, he is linked with Saudi, Galatasaray, a return back to Atletico Madrid, a move to Barcelona and Juventus. And to be fair, Juventus could get zanked. They could easily get zanked. Look at what they got Vlahovic on. So yeah, Ben Jacobs has said on Martinelli, he's one option for Al Nassr if they fail to land Luis Diaz. Arsenal are not actively looking to sell and have started exploratory extension talks. So what does that tell you? Martinelli ain't going nowhere regardless of this Eze thing, Sesko, Gyökeres, Rodrygo, who I don't think we're going to get, etc. However, Nassr believe a big offer could change their mind. Bring it. But then again, if you bid something mad, like 70 million, mad, like, I love Martinelli, safe, and give us a sell-on clause, safe. But what if Martinelli says, brother, I know people in the Brazilian squad have been called up. I'm 24. I don't want to go and do that. Doesn't matter. Nassr expect to seek clarity from Diaz first as to whether he's open to Saudi before advancing on other targets, people. Once again, Kepa has joined us. Big up, Berta. I need you to do this. So yeah, as I said, Part A is attracting interest from Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. He's left us as a free agent. Apparently, he's caught the eye of two clubs in Saudi, as well as teams from the United Arab Emirates and MLS, people. His contract expired yesterday. Pardon me. So it is what it is. 45 million, didn't get a penny. So yeah, it is what it is. Go do your thing. Jorginho's also left. Zubamendi and Norgard have come in. Keen to see how that develops, because in an ideal world, either one of Jorginho and Partey leaves. Obviously, both have. Arsenal can force Sporting sell today. Arsenal can force Sporting into selling Gyökeres from today if they place a 60 million euros bid and above. Okay, so we're going over the same things. Now, naturally, Arsenal probably want to get him for a bit cheaper, but if that made a lot of sense, because sometimes, I know you always want to barter lower, but if it makes sense and you believe in the guy and, you can have it, you'd get it done. Personally, I don't think he's the first choice for Arsenal. I think it's a Sesko thing. If there's any nonsense with Sesko, then other stuff happens. Apparently, we've reportedly submitted an initial offer to Madueke, which everybody's saying we're interested in Donny, but that kind of contradicts what we've seen. Don't know why I've got that twice. Is that leaving Newcastle is distinctly possible if he refuses to extend his contract? I don't believe that. We know he's staying, but between him being aggressively linked with Arsenal and us biting the bullet and him being linked with Liverpool, it seems like the journalists are squeezing every last bit of rumors they can, which the game's the game. You got bills to pay. I hear it, people. Back on the Eze stance, Arsenal are treating Eze as a major transfer target following a key meeting held with the Crystal Palace midfielders agents. We've gone over this. According to the Athletic, we want to negotiate for a lot less. We've been linked with Sesko, Gyökeres, Martinelli has been linked with a move away. Rodrygo, Leao, Rodgers, Madueke, any takers? We've been linked with them. According to Romano, Eze himself would be open to a move back to Arsenal. People, he did leave us as a young man. But other than that, it don't really say much, really. So it's just echoing the same things. Arsenal are one of the clubs interested in Elanga. It wouldn't surprise me if, you know, if you're linked with the dreams of Rodrygo and Leao and Nico Williams and this one and that one, someone like Eze, then you've got, you know, Eze, Morgan Rogers, them kind of ones, Anthony Gordon, then you've got Elanga. If you're linked with Madueke, you're linked with Elanga in it. These are youngish kind of players. I don't believe it. I can't lie, Elanga is cold. I'd rather buy Hudson Odoi. He's younger. Well, he might even not be younger, tell it like it costs a lot less. Big up Forest and Newcastle have been trying to sell him, but 60 million. You might as well just pay the SAPs. Well, to be fair, like we want a left winger regardless. I don't think Elanga's a bad player. The first time I ever found out about him was actually watching many years ago a youth tournament for Sweden, and just watching him, he done well. I'm sure the videos on my channel. I said he'd have a decent career. I didn't know he'd be playing Premier League. It genuinely shocked me when they were like, the commentator was like, "Oh, Man United's Elanga." To be fair, they could do with him now. Arsenal willing to reach value. Transfer war could escalate, and how Gunners could win. about Gyökeres, I just want to skip the Tosh, man. Okay. Palace are looking to get Diamande. Gyökeres, meanwhile, was somewhat relegated to a similar section of the newspaper's front page. After what is weeks of the player sulking, and Sporting refused to sell him to Arsenal for a hugely discounted fee. The Swedish striker must know time is moving quickly. Sporting have started pre-season training today, but Gyökeres has been given permission to return on July the 7th. The official reason for that is he's away with Sweden on international duty. He's been given extra days off. Delaying things until the 7th of July, which is Monday, isn't it? Next Monday, gives everyone some breathing space, and it would be no surprise if the date is pushed back further. Ebola reports something which may be significant to or for Arsenal, but yet it's been stated multiple times this summer that if Sporting receive an offer worth 60 million euros or more for Gyökeres and reject it, they will need to pay the players' agents 10% compensation, so a minimum of 6 million. That clause only became active today, July the 1st. The report further states Arsenal are willing to reach this value. Sporting want 80 million, and the club have made it clear that if the agent tries to use the 60 million clause by getting a club to offer that just so it can be rejected and trigger the payment, Gyökeres will revert to his 100 million buyout clause. We're not learning anything. It's worth Arsenal looking at previous Sporting transfers and process. When Lisbon were willing to sell Bruno Fernandes to United in 2020, they reportedly spoke about wanting 80 million for the midfielder. In the end, they paid a flat fee of 55 million plus 5 million after a number of appearances. So fair enough. So there were a whole bunch of nothing. It's just repeating the same old things. Renewal offer made, player now needs to sign or push to Arsenal. Again, we've gone over that whole stuff as well with Mosquera. And I have said, man, you know, Newcastle's transfer Supremo search intensifies with ex-Arsenal chief, a contender. Listen, Jason, I told you weren't going to get the sporting director at Arsenal. Newcastle's a big club, an exciting project, provides you with the opportunity of career progression. So I don't begrudge you or Edu or Vinay. Vinay's a pagan. I don't know why you went Spurs. You're absolutely pagan. Yeah, Vinay Ventakasham, you're a piece of shit. You look like a crook as well. You're a piece of shit for that one, man. Pussy hole. But anyways, that's... Well, nah, he deserved that, innit? Don't appear that there's anything new there in that regard. So, yeah, man, we'll have to see exactly what's being said. But, boy, seems like the transfers are finally heating up. But Kepa's the only one confirmed. Can we bring in Eze, Rodrygo, and Gyökeres? Dreaming, man. Dreaming. Partey won't get what he would have got at Arsenal anywhere other than Saudi trust. Even with signing on fees, I don't see any team in Europe paying more than 180 per week. I agree with you. The only caveat is maybe his agent can work a blinder, but that's what I mean. Whether Arsenal were gonna, like, let's just say he was on 250. Let's just say we said, all right, we hear that you want an extension. We give you, rightly or wrongly, we give you 260, or we'll give you 190, or we'll give you 200. Regardless, or we'll keep the wages exactly the same. You're not going to get that at other places. You might. Weirder things have happened, but I can't see you getting that at Juventus, at Barca, at Atletico. I don't know how the finances work in MLS. Maybe you get the P's there. I don't know for that one. Saudi, 100% you would, provided you want to go there. Now, there's plenty of reasons to sign for Juventus, to sign for AC Milan, to re-sign for Atletico Madrid, to join Barcelona from a sporting and lifestyle perspective. Maybe they caveat that with giving you a longer-term contract. Maybe Arsenal will giving you a 1-year deal with an option. Maybe these clubs will give you a flat 2-year, or maybe your agent might even be able to bump them and say 3 years, which would be crazy. So I have to see, man. Raya, Setford, Porter, and Kepa. Which of our goalkeepers are better? Raya's the oldest. Naturally, Raya, Kepa, Setford, Porter. I like Porter and Setford though, but they're young tugs, man. My fear with Eze is it's more fuel for Arteta doesn't give youth a chance crew, as he will limit chances for the young AMs. But hey, you got to win things, innit? He probably will get a fat signing on for, because he's a free agent. Martinelli has been doing 2 jobs, man. What about the fact that Eze wants Arsenal? I mean, if he wants Arsenal and we want him, that's part of the job. But we need to dot I's and cross T's with his employers, Crystal Palace, which is very different. But did we not want Zaha? Zaha wanted us. We wanted Caicedo, and Caicedo wanted us. We wanted Mudryk, and Mudryk wanted us. And there was hardball. Like, it weren't easy even to get the Declan Rice deal over the line. Remember, we all had to wait for Raya as well. We tried to get Raya. Brentford weren't giving reception. We got Ramsdale. In times that followed, when it became clear, we might be able to get Raya. Now we span the block. There's always drama when it comes to Arsenal signing big players, not so much for other clubs. It appears that way, man. Thing is, we pay twice as much to replace Nelly for 20% improvement. The top wingers just aren't realistic. Sell Trossard before Martinelli. Keep Martinelli. We need his qualities. People really want Martinelli to go and keep Trossard. That's absolute madness. But Martinelli seems hungry. Can't see him wanting to go to Saudi. The bread's there. You can go Saudi one day. I don't think it makes sense. Obviously, you see some young players go Saudi, like John Duran's gone there, made his quick money coming back to Europe. I think he signed for Porto, but Gabby Vega, a player we was once linked with, he went to Saudi quickly, probably made generational wealth, cut back to Europe. There's probably some others. I'm doing great, my friend, man. DG experience everyday life in Australia. Big up the Aussies, man. But the thing is with England, that I'm sure if you live in the Caribbean, Asia, which I'm sure Australia falls under Asia, I might be wrong, but any other place in Europe, Australia, North America, Latin America, South America, North America, any of the Caribbean, West Indies, all of those things. But when it's hot out there, it's still boiling, but at least there's shade, there's breeze, there's a natural element to it. You see England, it's just a melting pot. It's like you've boiled it's like you're gonna make pasta and you've boiled the water and you just dashed me in it. It's more humid than anything. Is Trossard staying? To be fair, I don't know, because as somebody said, I'd imagine yes, because there's no noise around Trossard. But what happened to those new contract talks? People, we got 72 likes. If you've hit the like button, God bless. There's over 176 of you. Really? We can't get 100. How are we going to get to 70,000? I say we are a family. This is your channel as much as mine. So Zubimendi is officially an Arsenal player on Wednesday. DG, what's his squad number? I don't know. Until I see, like what we saw with Kepa, until I see this, I reckon Zubimendi is an Arsenal player and it's all done and we're just waiting on the photo shoots and whatnot. And we heard he was traveling yesterday to England. But until I see him doing this, I don't know nothing. We now know Kepa's number 13. But yeah, don't know a damn thing at this moment. Keep one and sell, or do you have to sell both? I don't think it makes sense to sell both. And I know it's a peculiar situation, but we can't cry about depth. Bring 7 man in, let 7 man go. Because you've done a lot of movement, but you haven't really done any movement when you deep it in it. I know that doesn't make sense, but you get the point. I don't think I wouldn't feel comfortable selling both Martinelli and Trossard. It don't make sense to me because I think Trossard could do the super sub thing. Martinelli could as well. You man are squad players. If Martinelli gets back to the form of a few years ago and better, if Trossard shows that he can be beyond a squad player, great. But as I said, I'm sure I said it on the stream. You imagine, let's just use the first 10 games of a season. Everything's going to plan. Everything. The start, the tactics, everything's going to plan. Gyökeres or Sesko, they're bagging, Saka's bagging. We're brushing teams for the first 9 games. We get to that 10th game now. And Saka's getting tripled up against. Eze might be here and it's not banging. Rodrygo, it's not happening. Declan Rice, who normally bails us out, can't get us out of trouble. The set piece thing isn't bagging. And it's just not these guys' games. You might see a Martinelli come on against tied legs, or Trossard do the super sub thing, or Marino go up front quickly, or Havertz score a scrappy goal. You need to do that about 4, 5, 6 times across a 38 game season. So yeah, I think our problem is we just take squad players, try and make them regulars, and we're surprised that they do all right, but we're not getting over the line. I wouldn't sell them both. We need to add on to the quality. You considering Nani is nasty work. I'm out. Damn, that's emotional. Fair enough. Fuck off then. I think he should be a supplement, not a main ingredient. I hear it. Eze, Rodrygo, and Sesko or Gyökeres with what we are alternatively doing. Say no more better. I mean, this is the goosebump stuff, but I need to see things. Yeah, City got dealt with by El Hilal. Lost the oil derby. Epic seeing Adrian Clark on your show, DG. Come on, smash the likes, folks. Help this channel and DG. It's free. Don't be stingy. I've had Adrian Clark before, but big up Clarky, man. His own YouTube channel soon bangs. Big up Clark, soon land, sorry. Big up Clarky for giving up his time. I released that today, I think at 11:30 and some snippets yesterday. So make sure you open up another tab. You know, I got you covered, man. I don't mind getting on in only if he knows he ain't starting. But then we're talking about wages, bro. He's going to want to be on 100 bags. I'm not going to lie. I don't believe in this Sesko signing. If they're signing both Gyökeres and him, then that's a different story. I just think we will fail again with him as the #1 striker signing. I definitely can't see us signing both them strikers on the best of days. I definitely can't see us getting, well, a lot of things would have to fall into place. But Sesko, Gyökeres, Rodrygo, and Eze. Mazzolini. I'm hearing we have to sell to buy a left winger. Did buy Norgard and Kepa affect that? I mean, if between them, what you're scratching about 15 to 17 million. Kepa was signed for 5 million odd quid. 9.5, 10 million with 2 million and add-ons for Norgard. If that is affecting your ability to move in the market, you're not serious. Because you didn't buy in January. You didn't really buy last summer. We hear about the powder dry and PSR and any restrictions of those internally. Just came back from Brazil. Big up. Hey, Toby, I'm jealous. How was Brazil, my guy? We're linked with nonsense. Eze's not nonsense. Bit harsh. Bit harsh there. I wouldn't mind Xavi Simons, but I think Xavi Simons too hot and cold. Leno and Martinez. We've been there with the goalie drama, man. We've been there. Player salary are heavily taxed in the UK. Another good point. If Partey goes Turkey or Italy, he could get his he could lower his wages at Arsenal and still take same or more net. I hear that. Thing is, if we want to be better at selling, we need to be strong in all negotiations and be prepared to walk away from deals. I'm really not a fan of Madueke, but we know this is how Berta works. How do we know that's how Berta works, though? What do you mean? In terms of scrap players or lining up multiple deals and then being able to move? We have to give up on the Rodrygo dream. I've given up on it. It could be a dream. We can dream about it. But go get me my Eze. Go get me my Sesko. Go get me the other areas and then show me something. And again, we hear that the Eze links is regardless, like Eze is in addition to a left wing and a striker. Now, Rodrygo's the one that's getting all the names and whatnot, but there's got to be a more feasible target. They might not be better. They might not entice us. But whether it's Rodrygo or the more realistic guy, go and get that. Go and get Eze. Go and get Sesko. In life, I guess for the galley there, in life, girls can apply. This applies for you with men. A wise man once told me, like the girls who like you know, Eze, he's enticed to play for Arsenal. Sesko Gyökeres, you know, Gyökeres broke up with his missus. I heard nothing about Rodrygo, you know. It seems like Real Madrid's his first love and we're his backup option, which is life. It's Real Madrid, but go and deal with things and then leave yourself. You know, if you do everything that needs to be done and there's a chance of Rodrygo, get it done. It seems like Rodrygo's one is one where every day is going to kind of peel back another layer. I genuinely think even if Xabi Alonso says to him, you're going to be a key player. You're going to get game time, but you're not getting as much as them, man. I still don't think he'll be keen to leave. I think he'll say, you know, I'll prove you wrong and whatnot. Appreciate you, no jars. What a name, man. Respect, brother. Mind you, Zubermendi still hasn't signed. Man, shouting out the whole world apart from Central America. Joel Campbell be fuming. And Central America. Allow me, man. I didn't even do geography. Allow me, man. All around the world, mate. Big up Foxy, man. This guy. You should be a scout, to be fair. I need to get you on the platform, man. I would keep Nelly for one more season. Don't want to, but need depth. Exactly. We can't be crying about depth and then we want to sell everyone and keep it. It's not FIFA and Football Manager. Buy from Chelsea rubbish bins. It's dark, innit? It's dark. Zubi is a good signing, but we need more in midfield. Eze makes a lot of sense. Then sell Lokonga, Zini, and Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira seems a tough sell to me, you know. I think everything can happen. Best case scenario is you're sold, we get a fee, sell on clause, we keep it moving, but I can see reality, maybe to Porto again or whatever. I can see reality go on loan again. And I actually think you go back on loan to Porto, or you're one of them that I can just see being part of the squad in some capacity next season And I see them two things happening way before I see him being sold permanently. I hope Berta can work his magic because Fabio Vieira, look, the Fabio Vieiras, the Congas, the Nelsons, they need to go somewhere where the clubs they actually believe in them. And 1 minute you're on loan, then you're not. You lot go get your stability. 100 likes, DG will play. His intro banger of a goal, but that was clearly offside. Look at this guy. I don't think Martinelli will go. In low block games, Odegaard 8 and Eze in the 10 would give us a different edge to break teams down, not to forget Wanyeri off the bench. And yeah. And to be fair, your houses are built to keep heat into. Yep. It's great in the winter, quote unquote. Man said Dominic Calvert-Lewin left. Oh, next. What am I moving like? To be fair, he's a free agent. And we were linked with him in Arteta's early days. Australia is Oceania. Is it? What region? I swear it's trying to mind games me. I swear Australia counts as Asia. Big up you lot, learn something new every day. Australia is both a continent and a country. Huh? It's a mind games question. Australia is a continent. Australia is both a continent and a country and is geographically located within the region of Oceania, specifically in the sub-region of Australasia. Oh, it's considered its own continent and is separate from Asia. But why do I think you lot are in Asia? So how they qualify for an Asian Cup then? No, this is mangas. Is Australia in Asia? Surrounded by the Indian and Pacific Oceans, Australia is separated from Asia by a 4-run Timor Seas. Well, fair enough. Big up Australia, same way. Big up the Aussies. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a lot of Australians fuck with my channel. Big up you lot, man. Don't know why. Big up whoever's promoting me in Australia, man. Big up you lot. Big up Cafu and supporting by smashing the like button. This guy. We can sign both. It's 50-50 on Gyökeres and Sesko. Wanyeri leaving next year. Nah, man. Less of that. If Eze signs, will DG do a topless stream? This guy. How many goals you expected from Rodrygo next season for you? Can you get me double figures in all comps? I say that subjectively. I don't know how many minutes you're playing. Mascara only wants Arsenal. Big up you, P, because you're from Iceland. Big up you. I actually want to go to Iceland one day. Big up Jason Aitor. Always rated him. Can he make is that possible for us? He's probably make it more unrealistic. From Jason Aitor, what you lot didn't want to give me the role. You want me to do you a favor? Like, you think you're paying max you've heard with Isaac is 150. For you, Arsenal, is 200, bro. I'm making your lives hell. You think I want to negotiate with Berta? The guy who took what I wanted. Barcelona can use Partey. They need a DM. They want to sell Frankie, I think, financial reasons. I hear that, but every second, I'm not saying you necessarily, but there's just some things you hear every summer. Aston Villa and Newcastle, PSR, they got to sell to buy. Arsenal got a war chest, then we've got to sell to buy. Barcelona they're broke and they have to do certain things. Every summer for the last few years, and there's probably a couple of others, we've heard all of this. Big up Kenya, man. Shout out Kenya. One of my best friends is Kenyan. Yeah, Frankie again. Yeah, man. I would take Frankie de Jong on ability. I don't, and obviously what he could do, and he's what we historically are customized as an Arsenal player. But then I wouldn't. I've got questions about your mentality when the going gets tough. You do pick up a lot of injuries. If it was just on football alone, what you can do with a football, my sort of player. Barca don't even want Partey. UK for most homes. No AC. I ain't got AC. Big up Australia, man. I did not leave school in pre-primary. DG, you didn't know Australasia. That's why I thought it was. That's why I thought it was Asia. Now I thought DG was smart. What? Listen. I could be smart. I could be stupid, but my intelligence cannot be defined by not knowing that. So one of the smartest people I know actually can't read and write. There's book smart. There's street smart. Oh, I'm good at geography and I'm good at history. Oh, come, let's talk about tactics then, and the ever-changing role of a striker in the six and how that equates to quarterbacks. Because if we, at least I know now. I asked a question. I was an idiot or stupid for 30 seconds. Now I'm smart for life. Leave me the hell alone. Leave me the hell alone. It's all love though, man. Fair enough. And some of you are trying to do the smart thing, but I know you're going on Google. Not sure who will want to buy Fabio. Would you keep him for squad depth or sell cheap? Got no choice but to sell him cheap. I reckon he goes on loan. I just reckon, it wouldn't surprise me if I see Fabio Vieira in the squad. And I say that word loosely. Now, for him, it's peak because you're not even going to play ahead of Wanyeri. If you do get Eze and even Rodrygo, they can actually play in a bunch of roles that you would occupy. Yeah, it's dark for you, innit? Just need to move. But he's probably on big wages. Didn't put up any trees at Porto. Go on, Berta. Show me you really mean business and get Arrizabalaga behind Arteta's back. I mean, he does. He is clutching finals, but Arrizabalaga, I don't know. Was in the city of Fortaleza. Seeing people get robbed on the beach in broad day. It was all good, though. To be fair, everyone I know that went Brazil said they had a good time, but don't be wearing nice clothes. Just normal stuff, and you'd be all right, mate. Intelligence is relative. I am rattled, man. I ain't ever said I was smart. To be fair, no, I've never said I was smart. I don't class myself as smart. I didn't really like geography in school, so I don't know stuff. Like, she's play fighting that. I ain't even touched Google for this Australasia and tectonics thing. Okay, oh, sorry. I got one of them encyclopedia books. I read random facts. Oh my God, I knew it. Okay. There's billionaires out there that are way dumber than you and me. So what's this smart thing doing? People like me change the world. People like you criticize. Why am I so rattled? Just blending, mad to be like a light bulb in some places, in many places in the world. True. Brother, I talk about harp in my circles. I got to know about tectonics when they switch on earthquake machine. Oh, yeah? Harp. Oh, yeah, harp. Yeah. What is that? Australia play in the Asian Football Confederation instead of the OFC Oceania because it's too easy. AFC brings better competition for them with Japan, Korea. Okay. These men have terrible general knowledge. I've never said I'm the general knowledge connoisseur, man. DG, do you see Arteta adapting any new tactics because signing good players for me isn't enough? I second that. He has no choice. For at least 2 years, maybe a bit longer. We've known we struggle with low blocks. We've known we needed a left winger. We've known there's certain things that we know what we need to do, especially low blocks and plan Bs and switching up systems. By all means, I'm not against how we build up, how we press, what the midfield do, invertedness. But sometimes you might, even if it's for 10 minutes to win a game, fullbacks might just have to be traditional. If there was one gripe I have about Arsenal, in my 30 years, I feel this is probably we don't really penetrate or build up play on a consistent basis through central areas. If I'm honest, I know we get little combinations on the left and the right, and you do have runners from midfield, and that tends to lead our scoring. But I think we could do a lot more from penetrating central areas, especially when you've basically got an extra midfielder in real time. That's the whole point about the whole inverted left back thing. So yeah, man, I'll take Frankie. I hear it. Say he's gonna move here if you're not careful. If your man not careful, what are you talking about? It's just run to the corner flag and cross, and it can be quite predictable. We still haven't seen the goalkeeper rotation Arteta's talking about. Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas. Channel of the year, DG. I wish, man. Appreciate that though, man. Any update on Zubimendi? I missed it. To be fair, I think he's an Arsenal player. I must admit. Who am I? Just someone sitting here making content with you lot. Don't know, but I think he's an Arsenal man. DG out here challenging everyone on football tactics. Bro, come on, doing the most. Oh, Rodrygo more at Porto is cold, bro. He's cold. He's gonna cost an arm and a leg. If there was any chance of Porto, hold this change, hold Fabio Vieira, we can make it happen. I think he's probably not even a wild card, but quote unquote wild card for Portugal's World Cup squad next year for me. Lookman, 73 GA in 85 games, has a better GA ratio than Carrick, Skeeler, and Leao over the last 3 seasons for club, but has the least hype around him. What's the real agenda? I don't know, but first thing first, Carrick Skeeler is better than him. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think maybe what's killed Ademola Lookman is it's not right. Because even if you come back to England, you return a much better player in it. Like think you win Nigeria Player of the Year or African Player of the Year, something mad like that. You did something in you got a hat trick in the Europa League final. I'm not making that up. Bagged against Real Madrid. Your stock has just risen in Italy. You've come a long way from Everton, Leipzig, Fulham. You stunk up the place then, which sometimes it sticks, unfortunately. I like Lookman, though. I don't think we're on him, though. DG with all these tactics, but didn't throw his hat in the ring for the Spurs or Brentford job. Crazy that is. He found a good system he fit in. Don't ruin the magic by moving him from that club now. Who are you referring to? Prem Bios, because he didn't do well at Fulham. And I like Lookman. I'd bring Lookman, but I like the Italian league. But honestly, I think it's fraudulent. I think I see players that look like they're past it in their careers. They go over there, like they start bagging. Players that were struggling in other leagues, they go over there, they start bagging. Fabio Capello said this. DJ, have you seen Antonio Nuso? Sure you have. He's a baller, at least some serious potential. Previously linked with us. Probably should have got him when he was in Belgium. Wasn't he at Club Brugge, the Norwegian? It's going to cost an arm and a leg, man. To be fair, unpopular opinion, I'd rather him over Xavi Simons. I wouldn't. I'd rather Xavi Simons, admittedly, but I think Xavi Simons is a player that I gas up too much. I don't think he's good enough over 90 minutes on a consistent basis. A lot flash in the pan. Arthur must be and die of Everton's agent. You keep peddling this one. Class player. And as you said, you're going to keep saying his name. Almost didn't become a professional footballer. Very good player. Tidy. Wouldn't mind him in the squad. But again, arm and leg. What happened to Locatelli? Fuck. I ain't heard that name in years. He was at the Club World Cup getting washed. I'm seeing Fabio and Ruiz linked to United City season in full swing. The journalists got to do what they're doing, innit? They got to do what they're doing. The game is the game. Yeah, Lookman's penalty drama. But you know what? I rate the fact he tried. But you see, if you're in the last minute of a game going to do the chip penalty, you better bloody make sure you score. Or you look like that. But he's come a long way. Cuadrado still playing winger at Atalanta, almost 40. It's a bookie league. I'm telling you, it's bookie. It's bookie. Prem bias. Because he didn't do well at Fulham. And that's what I keep saying. I think the only time I've only rated Ademola Lookman twice. That was when he came through at Charlton, obviously got his move, and at Atalanta. I wasn't gassing him in Germany. Well, yeah, Leipzig, Germany, and all that. I'll take El Canus over Xavi Simons. His name, he's been linked with us. He was linked with someone. He's linked with someone. Yeah, boy, when you're saying them names, you're just playing Football Manager. That's a Football Manager legend. Do you know what? Unpopular opinion, yeah. Scalvini from Atalanta. He's just come back from a massive injury. I'd love to cop him, bro. I'd love to cop him. Love for the super chat. My new account, mod me up, G. Big up, bro. Appreciate you, H. Why do some of you lot keep making new accounts and losing stuff? And what is going on with you lot? Remember your passwords, man. But there you go, my friend. Love for the chat as well. Cuadrado left now. Can't lie, I didn't even know he was still kicking ball. Left wing, we need Rodrygo, Lookman, or Igor Paxal. Them three stand out. Boy. Interesting. But yeah, man, we need to get stuff done. You know, the transfer window is getting annoying when we're talking about continents. It's true, man, but we do everything on this platform. That's why I love being here with you lot. Malik Fufana might be going to Nottingham Forest. Oh, shit. Keen to see how he develops. That's cold. I can't take the jump on Scalvini, but he's cooked on Football Manager. You know, it is a big injury with him, and he's going to cost a shitload of money. And obviously, we've got Calafiori, but he just screams like the Barellas and all of those kind of things. Like they just go to the bigger clubs in Italy, whether that is Juventus, AC, or Inter Milan. Now, how many Italian dons are actually in the Prem? Tonali, Calafiori, Italian players. How many Italians in the Prem? This would be a good quiz. How many Oh man, put myself on the spot. Is Obono is if Obono is still at West Ham? Where's Zappacosta? Well, not Zappacosta. There's definitely an Italian fullback somewhere. Chiesa. So whoever I said, Chiesa, Calafiori, Vicario's another one. Ogbono, I think I said. There's definitely a fullback somewhere. Is there anyone at Bournemouth? Them kind of clubs? I said Tonali as well. Newcastle. Newcastle ain't got no other Italians apart from him. Palace got any? I don't think so. Fuck knows, man. Gonyoto at Leeds. Yeah, but yeah. Leeds have just got promoted. What do you think about Cristiano Ronaldo's wage? Bro, what can you say? Fair play. Shitload amount of money. Oh, hey, the Brentford lad, Kayonde. Emerson is who I'm thinking of. Because I'm sure we're making it out. Somebody scored, not Zappacosta, Emerson, sorry. Someone scored a screamer against us. In doggy, flipping out, yeah. Yeah. Fair play. Fair play. How many of you answered that legitly, though? 100% agree on Simmons. Good little play on his day, but the hype is too much for a player that goes missing far too often. You lot try to grab him, though. DG trying to be smart, just Google it. Listen, you got to keep work. Use your brain, man. You got to try to do some mental workouts first. You got to do that first. Just for context, overachieved before serious recognition / underrated players. Huh? Visa, good player. Marmoush. Garassi, good player, but not really my cup of tea. Osman, a bit slept on now. Maybe price himself out of moving. Buemo, wanted him for years. Kudus, we were crying for him when he was at Ajax. Salah, big bad boy footballer. Lookman, fair play. They do. You probably do have to do the most to get rated. How long have you been an Arsenal fan? My whole life, my friend. Road to 70k, people smashed their likes. A man said, DJ, I rate you, but you're a pagan. Man had me doing 2 weeks work experience, but I got mod status, just saying, and now we move. Hey, it's cool, man. You still on about that? It's cool, man. It's cool, man. It's cool. Jorginho, if he counts. No, well, he doesn't count anymore, but you get where I was going with that. He gets 550,000 a day. Fair fucking play, mate. Generational wealth. That's why I think his son's not going to be a good footballer, or he's going to be not. Well, I don't think you're going to get nowhere near Ronaldo. Anyways, you ain't got no hunger. Ronaldo grew up in poverty. You ain't got no hunger. You ain't got no hunger. Hey, I need to secure generational wealth, man. Imagine not having to worry about finances. Smash the like button. I mean, he's earned it, but flipping hell, man. Partey should be on Ronaldo wages. I'm not sure about that one, big man, but don't know. I don't know. But I can't say I share that opinion. I can't say I share that opinion, man. It's a bit mad. He's not Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not got the hunger. Or he might have the hunger, but it's just not that hunger required because it's all relative. Like Ronaldo come from poverty, unfortunately, dad dying and all that stuff. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. just grew up in luxury, innit? So you can have desire, but it's relative. And I know, unpopular opinion, obviously, when you're a professional footballer, the best physios, best training pitches, all this stuff, it makes you great. Me personally, I think that's why young G's are not as good as they are, because it's too perfect. It's too structured. That's why people ain't got unique dribbling styles, because they're not outside playing on the concrete where there's a pothole. You got to dribble to avoid it, or the ball bounces in a certain way. That's why you don't see, like, again, there might not be anything to scream and shout about to some, but Mahrez playing style, typically Bernard for Nasri. People can mock him, Gabriel Jesus, and there's plenty of examples. I actually think, obviously, you have to be good, but I think it's easier to be if you're a young footballer now, it's easier to be a footballer than back in the days. I think if you're a 6 out of 10 technical footballer, like, you obviously have to be good. But you can, you're fairly, you're not into scream and shout about it. It's hardly Santi Cazorla or Cesc Fabregas, but you can pass the ball, you can ping, you got a decent first touch. But if you're a 6 out of 10 of that, but you're a 10 out of 10 athlete up and down, you're 6'4", I think you're set, I genuinely think that. I think you're set. So again, you could be a 6 out of 10 footballer, 6 out of 10 footballer. You still have to be good. I'm not saying man have to be shit, but if you're a mad athlete, you can bang. Because that's what football is now. It's systemic and all of that crap. Pele used fruit and other random items to develop his ball control. Yeah, if you didn't have tech, forget about it. Even if you had tech, some people couldn't make it. Yeah, everything's too perfect and dribbling too similar. Again, and I don't think people let kids be kids. Like, I think, obviously, like, I'm not an academy coach, but if I was an academy coach, of course, like, I would say more so for the little pitneys, them, like 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, you got to do dribbling skills. You got to talk to them of why to make certain passes. But I also feel there's an element of you just have to let kids be kids. Like, if I was still coaching, you do all of that, but you might spend 45 minutes playing 60 seconds. Or if you're from South London, you call it 66, or you might play Wembley, or you might play 2 touch, and you might just play a match. I think kids are not allowed to be kids too much, especially when you're 6, 7. There's kids that have never played. Joe Willock's one. There's man that have never played Sunday League football. You know, they've just been in this academy circuit. I think kids have to be kids. I think you just have to let them be kids. You're getting pushed on the floor by the bigger boys. You're not getting the free kick. You know, you might have to bully the free kick for yourself. You need all of that. But this isn't the way the game's gone, man. 66, what a game. 60 seconds. No, it's harder now. Most kids are athletes, stronger and taller and trained by YouTube. Proper techie street ballers are being phased out. I grew up in Cobb Island. Forgive me for mispronunciation. Used to play football in Church Car Park with Stephen Island. Stephen Island was a baller. DG Roy Hodgson said it best. Some of these coaches coach shoots like that, United or Liverpool. Kids need to enjoy the sessions, or they aren't gonna want to go back. And let's be honest, a lot of coaches have always been ego driven, but a lot of coaches, they all want to be seen as the next Pep. And look at me, I'm wearing tight clothes with my initials. It's so innovative, it's so great. Just let kids be kids, man. Pat Ball was cold. Pat Ball, wasn't really keen on Pat Ball. More money up the wall and them kind of things there, man, if I'm honest. Stop calling it 66. Where on God's green earth have you lot got that from? Where's the extra 6 seconds coming from? Where does it come from? No, not you as well, TW, man. Where does the extra 6 seconds come from? Is Gabriel Jesus coming back ahead of schedule? I thought he was out to the end of the year, but saw his video yesterday and he was training and jumping up and down. That don't necessarily mean he's ready for contact training and running. And, you know, football is bare different movements. You're starting, you're stopping and whatnot. But maybe he is ahead of schedule. And I'd love that for him, because to have 2 of those injuries is horrible. It's a World Cup year. It'd be a full circle moment, because going to the last World Cup kind of started off, you know, his decline at Arsenal. But until I see anything different, I mean, you know, the player's going to be pushing, and Jesus is one of them. But until I see anything different or any significant update from some credible source, I'm just going to believe that, you know, what they say. Didn't they say most optimistic November, realistically January? Who knows, though, man? So, yeah, man. I've never heard of 66 in my life. Have you heard of 60 seconds? Latest game. You see who's your real brethren. The real G's eat until the last second. They're trying to hit the volleys. Some people run. Well, we played rules. You're not allowed to run away. You go and goal. That's the idiot thing. You can't run away. But some people be snaky. They'll time waste in the last 10 seconds. You know, and the last thing, they'll pass it to you so you don't have time. It's a lit game, man. It's a lit game. Wembley was it 60s? Wembley was 60 seconds was my favorite game. And then probably Wembley. I did like runouts. I did like goal to goal, which literally goal to goal. I can't remember the name of the game, yeah, but it weren't called goal to goal. But it's like, if you was in a cage, you've obviously got the 2 goals here, and you'd have 2 makeshift goals here in it. So like, there's 4 goals, and it's 2 touch, and you had like 2 free lives. I can't remember, but you got 2 touches. Obviously, you have to eliminate each other. After that, it's all about runouts. I was trying not to say Red Arse. Red Arse, a brazy game, brazy game. 4 goals, yeah, 4 goals, lit. Someone should make these videos on YouTube and whatnot, man. DG, you know, we know you sent the volleys into Rosette. Plenty. But I scored more. I only, you know, how many free kicks you think Ronaldo skied over the bar? But how many he scored? How many throws and all the basketball stuff did it not work for Kobe Bryant? You only need to be right once, you know. How many ideas did Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Mikel Arteta, Jose Mourinho, how many times did they fail? A winner is only someone that failed and gave it one last shot, you know. So hit me, not the players. I can't lie. Arteta shout me for PR. I'd be so amazing. I have no clue why I said hit me and not the players. There's no players here. But you got motivated. Did anyone play corners in the cage? What's that? Did you play headers and volleys? Yeah. I would 2-foot tackle DG. I'm keeping a clean sheet in 1v1. You can do that after the game. You might get done up still. It wouldn't be advisable. Play fairly, man. 60 seconds is childhood, man. See, big up everyone. It's 60 seconds. Boy's never heard of 60 seconds or 66 seconds in his life. This is ball knowledge has to be capped for certain people. I love when people reveal themselves. Kirby's cold. Kirby. You lot are nostalgic, man. I wonder if kids even play this anymore. They probably don't. And just little things like crossbar challenge, or if there weren't a crossbar, you're hitting the sign that says no balls allowed. Or even like there's a car park near my house, in it, and like obviously I don't even know what you call it, but the thing you drive under with the cars. We make a makeshift goal. Obviously, you've got it like this, and we'd have a goal here. So it's like the pitch kind of bends round. These kind of things help kids. Most Italians usually flop in the Prem. Keane, Samaka, Zaza, Scamacca. I don't think David Moyes rated his thing or whoever was his manager, because the way West Ham people spoke about him, as in the players, madness. Darmian, Catrune, Osaka, Barini, Equilani, Zenolio, Gabbiadini, Osvaldo, Tarbi, Zappacosta. True. Random, but big up Gooner Lee. But I saw him bump train today, had me dying. Damn. I used to steal scaffold posts to make goals. It has to be done. Corners is like a 6-man game. Two people get the goals. Everyone else gets a cage panel, then 3 lives elimination, best game ever, and end-to-end goals. I think we're talking about 4 goals there, you know. We were playing American football at lunch breaks. One man got concussed and then it was banned. These are the people whose opinions were taken seriously. If you was roller skating back in the day, you would find the best ladies at Hyde Park. I mean, I was roller skating. The roller skating thing stopped at about 7 years of age. You can't have been older than 6, 7 roller skating and skateboarding and all of that. By then, we progressed to run outs and these kind of things. It's defo 60 seconds. Definitely 60 seconds. Calafiori, best Italian in Prem history. I hope he can go down as that. I hope he can step in the right direction. But yeah, people, man, we've somehow started speaking about nostalgic games. We spoke about geography. We spoke about kids' youth development. We've gone over the whole transfer business. I will cut up the transfer clip and get that out for you. Simply put, I'm off to try and, you know, make some movements with this edited piece that I want to get out for you lot with Zubamendi. And that the good news is that I did a live stream with Igal, and before that, yesterday I recorded a video with Adrian Clark. So yeah, man, check that out, man. Appreciative to all of you lot tuned in. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. We're chasing 70k subs. Happy new month as well. And somebody said this goal was offside. I don't know about that.
Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
You always just like, red light. Like